Okay, part 3 of the sleep series. I'm going to talk about sleep and athletic performance. Now, as I mentioned in the previous video, sleep is obviously important for your health. It's important for, keeping chronic pain or pain at bay. But let's say all that's taken care of. If you're an athlete, you play a sport, basketball, soccer, badminton, whatever, sleep, or especially sleep deprivation, can seriously harm your performance. It's going to make you have less energy, so your stamina is going to be crushed. You're not going to be able to perform at a high level as long, but you'll also just make more mental mistakes, because aside from the effects sleep deprivation has on your body, its most deleterious effect is what it does to your brain, your nervous system. So if you play a sport, it's obviously highly skilled, requires a lot of coordination, balance, reaction time. If you're not getting enough sleep, your brain is going to be operating at lower than your normal capacity. So your reaction time is going to be slower. Your balance is going to be poorer. You're not going to be as fast. You're not going to be as strong. All of these, every physical trait that you can think of is going to be decreased. How do we know this? Well, in the book Why We Sleep, which I recommend to everybody, the author is a sleep researcher. He actually measured an NBA player. I can't remember who it was right now, but it's a pretty well-known NBA player. Measured him over the course of so many games and measured his sleep. And, this NBA player somehow agreed to this, but the sleep researcher told him, get less than the right amount of sleep over, let's say, 5 days. I don't remember exactly what it is, but let's say 5 days. So get, maybe 5 or 6 hours of sleep over these 5 days. The researcher measured how he performed in these games. Now, the interesting thing is all of the negative statistics you can think of shot through the roof immediately. His turnovers increased. He didn't have enough energy to finish the game. He had more fouls. His points and rebounds were lower. These are all measurable statistical things that he saw, and he knew that, he didn't have enough sleep. Nothing else changed about his diet or lifestyle or anything else. He just skipped on, a couple hours of sleep a night. All of these negative statistics went through the roof. All of his positive statistics sank. The researcher then had him sleep adequately over so many nights, and then guess what? You see everything flip. His errors, his turnovers, and fouls all go down. His points and rebounds go up. So that's a pretty obvious account of how sleep can affect your athletic performance. And this is the player at the highest caliber, the NBA. So you had to think that everything else in his life was covered. He's got the best trainers, he's got the best dietitian, all this stuff. He just didn't get enough sleep for a few nights, and you see the effects immediately on the court. It's pretty well known that LeBron James, who is a pretty okay basketball player, I think, he is famous for sleeping 8 to 10 hours every night. He prioritizes sleep, and honestly, I don't know how he manages to get that much sleep. If he can manage to get up to 10 hours of sleep a night, then I think we all can, because I think we know this guy's pretty busy. He's got a lot of stuff going on. So if he's not going to make an excuse like, I just can't get to bed on time, none of us have an excuse. Another guy that's pretty famous is Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, I saw in an interview talk about how sleep is the most important thing that he does in a day, and he never sacrifices it. And whether he's traveling or anything, he always makes sure he gets enough sleep. And you can think of Jeff Bezos as a mental athlete. This guy obviously has to make very important decisions every day. He's managing one of the biggest companies on the planet, so he's got to be mentally sharp. And he stated in this interview that sleep is, it's a no, he's not going to sacrifice that no matter what. He actually mentioned how he never has a meeting before 10 a.m. Not because he sleeps till 9, but he said he likes to, wake up around 8. He likes to take his time, have coffee, hang out with his family. So he's adjusted his schedule to be conducive to his sleep schedule. Now, we may not all have the ability to push our meetings to 10 a.m., but we often have the control of what time we go to bed. So if you know you have to be up by a certain time, you got to adjust your sleep bedtime accordingly. And as I mentioned in the previous video, according to research, every hour before midnight counts as 2 hours of quality sleep to our brain. So it's really important to get asleep before midnight if you can. So again, whether you're an NBA athlete, if you just play soccer on the weekends, okay, I don't know what that was about. or you're just a mental athlete. And if you have a brain and your brain is involved in what you do day to day, then you're at least a mental athlete. So lack of sleep will definitely hurt you. So prioritize getting sleep so that you can perform at your peak level in whatever activity you choose to do. So get your sleep, and I'll see you in the next video.